What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a very special video. I think that a lot of you guys will really find some value in. I was getting a lot of comments from people asking me what's a good meal plan for a college student, for instance, or a student in general that has minimal time to prep but still wants to hit their macros, make gains, put on muscle, shed body fat, and all that stuff. So I put together a meal plan here that I'm going to give you guys all the info, break down meal by meal macros, everything, how to prep it, and I really think you guys will enjoy it. The overall theme with this video I want to emphasize is that this is all about convenience, affordability, ease of prep, basically everything that'll make this diet as simple as possible to follow. Now, I did a little bit of math and this will cost you roughly $12.33 a day to follow this plan, exactly how I've laid it out. But keep in mind, there's areas that I will talk about in this video where you can cut the price down even further and get this under $10 a day. So with that being said, guys, let's not waste any more time here and let's jump right in. Are you guys ready? Let's do it! The first thing I'm going to do, guys, is go over all the grocery items you're going to need to follow this plan exactly as I show you. So starting off, first thing we're going to do is go over our protein source, which for this prep we'll be using extra lean ground turkey breast, 99% fat free. Almost pure protein here, minimal fat. Other proteins will work too, chicken breast, white fish, whatever you want to use. I chose to use this though simply because it's already ground. You don't have to trim it or do anything. Literally, you throw it in a skillet, add some seasonings, and fry it up. So we went with this. If you're trying to get overall costs down, you can switch to something else, preferably chicken breast, you trim it yourself, but like I said, this is all about convenience and ease of prep. So we'll be using one package of this, and then moving on, we need to make sure we get our micronutrients, our veggies, and our fiber in. So we will be doing one whole packet of Italian green beans. You can do broccoli, asparagus, zucchini, really just any green vegetable, guys. You just want to make sure we're hitting those micronutrient goals and those fiber goals. This also helps with keeping you full while you're on a cut. The more micronutrient rich your diet is, the better your metabolism is going to respond to it. The more fat you're going to burn, the more muscle you're going to ultimately put on. So we're going to do a bag of this, and back to the whole ease of prep thing, we're going to be doing a whole packet of whole grain brown rice. You can use plain white rice, you can use the flavored ones if you want, just keep an eye on the macros and the sodium. I'm trying to do this as healthy as possible. We're choosing whole grain brown though because of the fiber and micronutrient content. 90 seconds in the microwave, and this will be one of our carb sources for the day. Quick, easy, painless, we'll add it straight into our meal. And then for another protein pick-me-up, we will be doing 2 cans of chunk light tuna in water. You can use flavored packets if you'd like to add some flavor to it, but we are going to keep costs down by going for the cheapest cans possible, add our own seasoning to them. You're also going to need yourself a container of natural peanut butter. I picked this up at Kroger for about $2. We're going to use 2 servings of this a day. It's going to cost us like 30 cents a day to get some healthy fats in there as long as some really good flavor. And then next up, we have whole wheat bagels from Kroger. Keep in mind when buying bagels, if you're going for some of the other brands, they have a lot of added sugar, whereas these have fairly good macros, a nice complex carb source, high in fiber, high in protein, perfect on-the-go snack right here. And then last but not least, another on-the-go snack. We have ourselves a protein bar. What I'm using today is Combat Crunch Cinnamon Twist. This is by far the best protein bar I have ever had in my entire life, hands down. But you can choose any other protein bar you want. Another way to cut costs is to choose a little cheaper of a brand, but I think if you're gonna eat a protein bar, you should do a good brand that you ultimately enjoy, make it more like a treat. So a box of this will run you about, I wanna say $30 or so at Subzilla, which is what I bought. So we're talking about $2 and so for a bar. So I already factor that into our price as well. Anyways, we went over everything, guys. Let's get this plan started. Now, in order to get this prepped out, that way we can travel with it and be good to go, you're gonna need yourself a couple meal prep containers. I'm using just basic meal prep containers I got off of Amazon. I always get questions, people asking me where I buy my meal prep containers at. If you get on Amazon, type in meal prep containers, you can find really good deals on big bundle packs. I think I paid like 15 bucks for 12 of these. You buy 2 of those and you're good. I'll also be using a bowl-shaped meal prep container. Not required to have a bowl-shaped one, but hey, well, I feel like it helps me distinguish between meals. And then I will also be using a sandwich bag as well. And now, a couple things I wanted to get out of the way before we really start getting into the video. I get asked often what my ideal breakfast is. I get asked often, when should I start eating? How often should I eat? And I know I cover this in a lot of my meal prep videos, but I can't stress this enough, guys. I don't personally believe in having a structure to your plan as far as you eat this meal first and this meal last, nor do I believe in eating as soon as you wake up and eating every 2 to 3 hours. I practice intermittent fasting myself. What that means is that I have a set period of time in the day I eat. For me, it's typically between 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the rest of that time I am fasting fasted, which means I'm not consuming anything. This has a couple positive benefits associated with it, such as, for me personally, decreased hunger in the mornings, more alertness, focus, and mental clarity. Secondly, it speeds up your metabolism while you're in a fasted state and helps you maintain muscle mass, which is something that I find extremely helpful with this lifestyle, especially when I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm trying to cut body fat. And thirdly, I don't have to watch the clock as much, and it really helps eliminate my stress when it comes to following my plan. Back in the day, I was the type of person that would eat first thing when they woke up, and every 2 to 3 hours I'm watching the clock, trying to get a meal in. But now I fast up until my window, my mornings are free and good, and I don't have to stress and worry about that. Just a couple things right here. You can have these meals in any order you want. You can mix and match the quantities of stuff. If you like one thing I add in with something else, you want to combine two, do whatever you want. What matters most is that you hit these macros at the end of the day, every day, regardless. Now, as far as supplementation goes, guys, I am currently not taking too much. What I do take though, and what I do preach all the time, and I talk about this in my videos, and a little disclaimer right here, this company does sponsor me, but I took their products long before they ever sponsored me. And I feel like while you're fasting, in order to put your best foot forward, you need to supplement with branched chain amino acids. The ones I preferably use is Pure Aminos by Purebolics. Now, what this does has caffeine mixed in with it and some branched chain aminos. So basically, first thing in the morning when I wake up, instead of doing coffee or anything like that that has calories, what I do is supplement with 2 scoops of this, sometimes 3 if I need that extra little boost. That gives me 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine, gives me 10 to 15 grams of branched chain amino acids, and there we go, guys. While I'm fasted, I'm not worried about going catabolic. Keeps my muscle, my body fed, while keeping me moving towards my goals. So if you want to pick up some of these, they have a ton of different flavors. Rainbow candy is by far my favorite, but Fruit Punch, Grape Gatsby, Razzle Dazzle, Blue Steel, heck, they all get the seal of approval from me. And you can use code RJF10 to save yourself a little bit of money. I want to say you get 60 servings for like 30 bucks. It's a really good deal, guys. So check them out. Regardless of any of that though, I like to get all this stuff out of the way. That way there's not a ton of comments at the end asking me specific questions. So now that we got that, let's get started. Now, first thing we're gonna do is get our protein prepped. This is by far the hardest part, but you're gonna see just how easy it is. So the rest of this video moving forward is gonna be minimal of this, but we're just gonna knock this out. So the easiest way to prep this I found, get yourself some butter flavored cooking spray if you want some taste, or use whatever cooking spray you desire. Hit the pan with it. And then I wanted to let you guys know that I preheat my pans to cut down on cooking time. If you need to prep this first thing in the morning, then I recommend you wake up, preheat your pan before you start doing whatever you gotta do. When you come down, we'll be good to go. Make this as fast as possible. So all I'm gonna do is take my whole pound of ground turkey breast, plop it in there. As far as seasoning goes, we're gonna keep it basic. I'm gonna use a little bit of pink sea salt here, mixed in with Zesty Blend garlic and herb salt-free seasoning. So all I do, boom, boom, and then the next thing we wanna do is get in here and break it down. But this is a pretty basic, bare bones method of meal prep. But like I said, convenience, guys. This is something you can fry this up in like 5 minutes if you preheat your pan. It's really, really easy. So you break it up in a bunch of little pieces, let that seasoning spread throughout it. And there we go, guys. Now it's just a waiting game. And while the ground turkey's cooking, we're gonna be proactive and save some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my veggies. We're gonna pop them in the microwave. These call for 7 minutes in the microwave. They're gonna come out steamed and fresh. So, boom. We're gonna set this for 7 minutes and voila, guys. Pain-free, veggies are good to go. Ground turkey is officially finished. We're gonna go ahead and put it in our containers. Nice and easy. Now keep in mind, I'm not weighing or logging any of this because I scanned the entire package into MyFitnessPal. So I already know, even after it's cooked, what the nutrition is gonna be for this exactly. So I'm not too worried about the whole weighing and everything. This also adds to the convenience factor. If you're scanning an entire package of something and throwing it in, accounting for all the servings in it, then you are good to go. Less time weighing equals more time doing college stuff, like studying. I mean, yeah, studying, not partying, studying. Don't worry, I won't tell if you don't. Boom, there we go. Literally, guys, that only took about 5 minutes to make this ground turkey. So proteins are done for this meal. Now, we're gonna go ahead and add in our ready rice. You do not have to microwave this if you're not gonna eat it right away. It's already been cooked in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it into here, because like I told you guys earlier, I fast. The only thing on my system right now is those branched chain aminos. I'm gonna be reheating this later. There's no need to heat this up now, as it's already been cooked. So, once again, we're not weighing or tracking because we already scanned this into MyFitnessPal, so we know we're eating the whole packet in a day. So we can just approximate here and put the brown rice in each meal. Voila! Now the only thing we're waiting on is our veggies. Boom, veggies are done. Now that we got our meals here and our veggies are prepped, all I'm gonna do is open this up. And like I said, once again, we're not weighing or tracking this specifically because we scanned the package into MyFitnessPal and accounted for all the servings. So there's no need to weigh this one, weigh this one. As long as you're eating, like I said, the same amount of macros in a day, you are fine. Add this on here. Keep in mind, this will be extremely hot if you do it fresh out of the microwave like I just did. So be cautious in that regard. You have been warned. And there we go. Get a look at these guys. These are gonna be probably the two most important meals in our program. We're getting our complex carbohydrates here in the form of the brown rice, our pure protein source with minimal fat and the lean ground turkey, and last but certainly not least, we get the micronutrients and the fiber and the health expanding wonders of green vegetables. So we have those servings in here as well. So these are done, guys. These meals are prepped. Let's move on to the next meals in the program. Now, switching up the tempo a little bit, guys, this is where we're gonna implement one of our whole wheat bagels with 2 servings, 4 tablespoons or 64 grams of our natural peanut butter. Now, I always recommend when you are utilizing peanut butter or any sort of nuts in your meal plan that you go ahead and make sure you are weighing everything out. Nuts and nut butters are by far some of the most calorically dense foods in the entire food pyramid. So just make sure that way you're not blowing your calories or anything out of the water, that you are measuring and weighing this stuff accurately. I've already scanned the label and I've put it in MyFitnessPal. Be on the lookout for that video coming soon on how to use that app effectively, but I'm gonna need 2 servings here. So 1 serving on the back is 32 grams, times that by 2, we need 64 grams. And what I feel like the best way to do this is gonna be to just put it on the old whole wheat bagel itself. That way we can get all that sorted, throw it in our bag, and then that's another meal ready to go. Quick and easy grab and go nutrition right there. So we have our food scale. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. That way it weighs this out to 0. And then what I'm gonna do is just measure the negatives as I remove peanut butter. So there we go. Now this might get a little messy. This is natural peanut butter here that I just opened up, so it's a little more runny than normal. All right, we're at about the halfway point, 32 grams here. As you can see, it's about that much peanut butter. And there we go, guys. That is our 64 grams right there. We'll slap the top on her. Boom. Now, like I said, she's a little runny because oh man, that is really runny. Look at that. So this is extra creamy, natural peanut butter, guys. Messy as all heck. You can use Jif Natural or something a little more thick if you'd like. And if you stir this up and drain the oil out, it won't be this bad, but I did not anticipate that since I just opened it up and used it. So hopefully your experience with this isn't as messy as mine, but hey, it is what it is. And there we go. We're getting some of this peanut butter mess cleaned up. I did not even think about that with this bagel, but we went ahead and put the bagel in a different container. That way, even though it's a little runny, it's not gonna go anywhere, get all over our hands or anything. I did have the bag out for it, but we're just gonna do it this way. So this is a nice, easy way to have something that you can eat on the go, high in healthy fats. Don't neglect your fats, by the way. For optimal hormone production, testosterone production, metabolism boosting, all that stuff, you need fats for that, for overall health and brain function. So don't fall victim to these claims saying you don't need fat in your diet. Too much fat, yes, is a bad thing and detrimental, but just enough is right where you want to be. So this is our 3rd meal and it is out of the way. Now the 4th meal on our plan is going to help ensure we're hitting our protein intake for the day. That way, like I said earlier, we keep muscle retention high while we're dropping weight, as well as keeping fat burning at the forefront of this program. So what you're going to need for this is a meal prep container. We're going to be putting the tuna in, as well as the 2 cans of tuna from earlier, as well as a can opener. You got to have a can opener. I guess technically you don't, a battle axe or something could work, but for the safety of everybody involved in this video, we're gonna use a can opener. So we'll go ahead and open these up, 1 down, and we'll get the 2nd one open. Then I'm gonna go ahead and drain the water out of them like so. Pay no mind to my pink scrub brush, guys. Helps keep my masculinity in check. All right, water's drained out of these. And then simply what I do at this point, remove the metal lid, there we go, and place into our bowl. Make sure we're getting all this in here because we really want this protein. And keep in mind, if you don't like tuna, if you don't like fish, you can opt for just making more ground turkey, chicken, whatever you want as far as protein goes. They even make canned chicken breast that you can use. I just personally think tuna gives us a little more variety, and I personally love the flavor of it, especially when you add a couple sauces to it, and then you are good to go. Okay, so that is our tuna right here. You can eat it plain if you want, but what I like to do is grab either some chili garlic salsa. I love this stuff right here, guys. 0 calories, amazing. If this is the first time you're watching my channel, give this stuff a try, it's awesome. Or I'll just take some standard organic hot sauce. Doesn't necessarily have to be organic, it can be whatever, but I get a pretty good deal on this stuff at my local grocery. So either one of these I'll throw in here to add a little bit of flavor, and you can do whatever you want, add some sea salt to it or whatever. And then real quick, for those of you wondering, we also have our canned chicken breast here as well. I could have used this in place of this. This is a bigger can. It'll work out to about roughly the same macros, but for the sake of the video, we decided to do tuna. So we'll open up our sauce and add some of this in here. You don't like spicy stuff, this might not be for you, but I personally love the heat. All right, and there we go. We added that in. Then usually what I'll just do is go in and mix it up. There we go. Spread that flavor around. And then next thing we do, pop the lid on it. And boom, guys, this is our fourth meal. Requires zero microwaving or anything like that. You can eat this straight up cold. So perfect for traveling, high protein, really helping us hit our goals, guys. Great choice here. And wrapping up this meal plan is last but certainly not least, our protein bar from earlier, the Combat Crunch Cinnamon Twist Bar. Once again, we are really hammering home that convenience, guys. Take this with you, throw it in your book bag, throw it in your laptop bag, whatever. And if you're hungry on the go, you can literally grab this thing, eat it anywhere. Macros are on the package, scan it in. Perfect, guys. This fits your plan to a T. Any other protein bars can work. Just keep in mind you want ones that are a little lower on the carbohydrate side, a little lower on the sugar side, higher on the fiber side, and a little lower on fat as well. You want to make sure you're finding a good brand. There are far too many bars out here that label themselves as protein bars when in reality, protein you get from them is the smallest fraction of the nutrition, and really they're just loaded with sugar. Shout out Cliff bars, shout out Luna bars, stuff like that you want to avoid like the plague. Stick to good quality brands and you'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and run through everything in this plan again real quick. And this is the finished product, guys. If all went well and you've been following along, this will be exactly what you'll be consuming over the course of the entire day. So you already seen how we prep these out. We get our protein, complex carbohydrates, and veggies. And these two meals, like I said, these are probably the most two important meals on the entire plan from a nutritionary standpoint. We also have our whole wheat bagel here with the peanut butter added. Grab and go. Just don't make the same mistake I did and not stir your natural peanut butter. But you can also buy thicker brands too. That way you don't run into the same problem I did. Or what you could do is not even put the two together until you're about to eat them, or just put the peanut butter separate in a cup. Whatever you want to do. Do some dipping action. Whatever your heart desires, you can do it that way. And then we have our 2 cans of tuna in here mixed in with our salsa. That might not look too appetizing to you, but I'm telling you guys, give tuna a chance. Super easy, convenient, cheap, nice, affordable, and fun way to get your protein in. Was that too many descriptive words there? Yeah, I utilize tuna quite a bit, especially when I'm on the go, and it works really well. You can buy the pre-flavored tuna packets if you want, but they're a little pricier. Whole goal of this was to keep this as cost effective as possible. And then last but not least, what we just spoke about was the Combat Crunch Cinnamon Twist Bar. By far the best protein bar I've ever had. I love this brand, really. It's hard to find a bad bar in this brand as well. I know Subzilla carries all the flavors. I've had almost all of them, and not a single one of them I can complain about. So this is the plan in its entirety, guys. Let's go over all the nutrition and macros and the entire breakdown of this plan. So all in all, guys, in this entire meal plan, there is 2,050 calories. That is a great starting point if your goal is fat loss and your goal is maintaining muscle and potentially building it too while you are lifting and training. You don't necessarily have to be lifting for this diet to be effective, but I'm gonna tell you right now that if you aren't doing much physical activity, I doubt you'll get a ton of really fast progress on this diet like you would if you were training, working out, doing cardio, something along those lines, guys. You'd probably be better suited with a 1,600 or so calorie diet if your activity levels are close to zero. Now, overall macro-wise, in this entire plan, we have 53 grams of fat, we have 183 grams of carbohydrates, and 218 grams of protein. Fat, we keep around 53 grams because that's about optimal for hormone production while not going too over and keeping our calories relatively low, while 218 grams of protein is perfect in as far as making sure we speed our metabolism up with the increased thermic effect of food that protein does have, as well as enough amino acids there that way we are supporting muscle growth and muscle retention while we're in a calorie deficit. And then 183 grams of carbohydrates, which some people might think are a little high, but if you're training intensely and you're crushing it in the gym, you're gonna need those carbohydrates for recovery purposes. And then as you go with this diet and as you start to see progress, maybe taper off a little bit, you can slowly start eliminating carbohydrates. Drop that whole packet of rice down to half a packet. Drop that whole wheat bagel down to half of the bagel. And as you decrease carbohydrates, that'll keep that fat burning moving forward at an optimal pace. That, guys, has been my college meal prep on a budget video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And like I said, I try to throw as many tips and stuff in as I can. Some older subscribers might have seen a couple of these tips before, but I try to make sure I paint as clear a picture as possible. That way, if this was the first time you've been on my channel and you're watching one of my videos, that you got nothing but the utmost value out of it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, guys. I put out videos like this all the time. And if you really want to see what's up to date with me and everything I got going on, hit that little bell next to the subscribe button and that'll let you know as soon as my videos go live. And don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know if you like this style of video. If you want me to throw together more meal prep videos like this, I can. It's really easy for me to do this. What I do for a living, guys. So I can throw these together really fast, make videos on them, explain them to the best of my ability. And hopefully if that benefits you guys, then I'll do more of them. So comment below, let me know about that. But with that, I'm out of here. It is officially 1:30 5:30 p.m. So I'm about to break my fast, eat some food, and get this day underway. That, I am out of here, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching this video. And don't forget to smile, remain positive, and pay someone a compliment, because you never know whose day you could be making better. With that, I am out of here. This has been a Remington James production, and I will see you guys at the next video. See you guys.